This Philippine Startup Week. So this is the only slot we were given, and we tried to make the best of it. So I'm very grateful to everyone for being here in time for breakfast. So much appreciated. And maybe you already had a pre-breakfast, that's why you haven't eaten that much, but we do appreciate it nonetheless. So just very quickly, this event is, this is the third time that we're organizing it. And I have to say that I want to also give a shout out to all of our male allies in the room. This is the case. Usually we do have a lot of very interested women leaders. So I want to also appreciate everybody, all different backgrounds. We have investors, we have, UNDP, we have other angel investors in the room. So thank you so much for being here and being part of this conversation. And I hope, you took away as much about moving the gender lens agenda forward. So thank you. So the reason, that we are here and we feel that it's important to continue this conversation is that there is a lot of progress made. So I think we need to acknowledge that. Though the data is showing that Philippines is now still only number 3 in that list. When we did this the first year, we were the second largest gender lens, investing market. So I don't know, I haven't looked at all the reports yet, so it'll be interesting to see what has happened. But what I wanted to share a little bit was about the Gender Lens and Impact Investment Council, which is a membership body of, started by a group of investors on the ground. There are some members here, as you'll see, you heard from Abby and, R Capital, Foxmont, there's also Quendi and team from Maine. And the reason that we all came together is that we really want to continue to advance and grow the pool of capital that does, include a gender lens, so that we're able to kind of identify that, and of course also impact investment. It was kind of interesting, we've been looking at other associations in the region, and all of them asked us, oh, why did you decide to also add gender lens, right? Usually it's just the investment council or even impact investment group or whatever it is. And we said that was a big part of our mandate. And as the council, we have sort of decided that the first 3 years we are really kind of focusing on gender lens investment and trying to really kind of continue to build the movement here in the Philippines. And given the data and everything that has been shared, I think what Abby was sharing earlier, majority of the businesses, close to 50% are women-owned businesses. But clearly there is a gap, whether it's information, whether it's, just accessing the networks, understanding what are the different financial products out there, there is a gap. And that means you're seeing that lack of capital is restraining women-led businesses from growing. And it's not for the lack of there is already pools of capital, it can be better, but there's also enough connections to it. And somehow it is still, a lot of investment happened through referrals. And one of the big pieces of data that came out of our research last year was that everybody is looking for this, but not seeing enough women-led businesses in the pipeline, right? So even though they may believe they're gender blind or not, this was one of the reasons mentioned. So which means that all of us as ecosystem players, there is a responsibility for us. And as the council, we do hope to, continue to bring this conversation to everybody's mainstream consciousness and try and make sure that capital reaches women. So as the Gender Lens also, we have a few objectives. So what we do is, of course, I think the big piece here is awareness. We need to continue to talk about the data, what's happening on the ground. So obviously education and awareness, not only those of us investors who know about gender lens investing. So thank you to all the financial institutions who are here in the room, but we really want to expand the pool of who is actually looking at gender lens investing, or even just looking at their own data and being able to identify it. So yesterday we were at another event with UNDP where we spoke about sustainable finance, and I think most of the financial institutions here will know that the BSP has also kind of redefined or changed or expanded the priority lending sectors to include sustainable finance. So which means there's a lot of opportunity there, and there's also data sitting with them, which I think somebody mentioned earlier, government data also needs to be strengthened. There is data, and we hope they're also able to publish consolidated data. So our hope as a group of investors is to continue to advocate for more data and storytelling from the ground, so we can continue to understand the progress and understand what needs to be done. And eventually, once we have enough of that momentum, then we would also like to have those conversations around policy and maybe encouraging BSP to say, hey, why don't you also report on gender, right? So that's the dream, and we'll keep moving forward with it. So maybe next slide. So just to kind of say who we are, we have started with a group of investors. So, it's investment networks, it's impact funds, it's VC funds, but we would love to expand, and there's enough, room and seats at the table to also include other financial institutions, funders, and also other ecosystem players. So I know there are some women's groups here, there are other ecosystem players who are here. We'd love for you to be also part of this. So we are expanding the mandate to include, members from all parts of the ecosystem, so, we can share these learnings and move the Philippines forward. So if you are interested, you're curious, you're not yet a member of the Gender Lens and Impact Investment Council, want to know how to get involved, please do approach any of us members or the Will Grow team, and we'd be happy to kind of talk about next steps with you. Or you can just scan, take a photo of this. If you know other financial institutions, ecosystem players, government agencies that you think should be part of this conversation, please do share this with them and we will reach out to them. So I know that we're a little bit past time, so I want to just thank everybody again. A huge thank you to Investing in Women team for, supporting us. The Gender Lens and Impact Investment Council would not have been possible without the generous support of the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, so DISA's team, who really kind of got us, thinking. And the Sasakawa Peace Foundation has regionally been one of the big reasons why a lot of us in Southeast Asia learned about gender lens investing and started working on it. So, huge gratitude to the team for pioneering that. And all I can say is that, there are a lot of flag bearers here. The only way we can move forward is by collaborating. So I know we're all very busy in our own projects, in our silos, but I hope these moments remind us to collaborate more. Just tell each other what we are doing, so there's a way for us to collaborate. So thank you everybody for spending your morning with us. I know there is a big part of this group that is coming to our next event, which is starting in an hour. So thank you to everybody. Have a fantastic rest of the week, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you.